All right, welcome back. We are on the back nine of the first round of the Disc Revolution Presents Aviary Fools 2024, also brought to you by Disc Mania. We're on hole 14. This is a tunnel shot straight down the middle. On the about 1/3 of the way up, there's a tree that you need to be left of. If you miss it, there is no drop zone. This is another one of those holes that are easily aceable. As a matter of fact, Jerome Knott got the ace on this hole.
And here goes Joe for that ace round.
You said right is okay for you too?
Yeah, right's okay. He can sit down. This guy was filming too. Seth kicked off a tree, off to the left now. Here's Alex.
Alex with the turnover. Looks like it stayed turned over a little bit, but he should be within the circle for the birdie.
Up next is Nate. Another ace run.
Nate with the ace run.
Ooh,
Santos. We can't see it.
good thing we had a catch cam because Santos was standing right in front of the shot at the tee pad. Oh well.
Santos with the turnover forehand. A little longer than he wanted, but Seth pitches up for his par. Alex nails down the birdie.
Santos with a birdie attempt.
Good putt by Santos to take down his birdie.
Nate for his attempt.
Nate just having the continuous putting woes right now.
Just not going good for him right now, yeah.
That saves his par.
Nice shot.
And Joe with a beautiful park job. Taps in another birdie.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And then Joe sees a guy he hasn't seen in about 15 years.
It's that deja vu from like 15 years ago.
Hole 15's got a little bit of a tunnel shot, and then it's going to wide open area, or the circle 1, circle 2 area. You just basically have to get yourself through all this trees and scrub oaks, stuff like that. Again, landing on the left side is going to be the dead man zone. There's really no good thoroughfares there. So again, ideally, you just want to be straight up the middle and land to where you can make your putt.
All right. I gotta ask, what is up with the sponsor? 8675309. We know that. What gives?
That's the Pikes Peak Flying Disc Club's president's. He kind of does these joke posts, and so when he signed up to be a T-Sign sponsor, he put down Burka de Burke, that name, put down the PDJ number as Jenny's phone number, and so to mess with him, I decided to do an AI photo of this MP80 guy looking at a disc very intently, and I put it on there and then put it on the sign. So when he showed up, that was the first time he'd seen it, because he just figured he was putting something goofy down, and I was going to put like Jason Crandall's name on it. But yeah, no, there was a whole little like inside joke on that thing. So it looks like Joe's going with the turnover and hoping for the skip, and gets the flare skip. Like he's going to be well within circle 1 to make that birdie putt.
Yeah, Joe actually took out his Juggernaut, which is a super overstable driver. And he flexed it and What sorcery is this? That's the play.
Most stable disc I have.
I think at this point the wind was starting to pick up a little bit more, and so players had to be a little bit more choosy on their disc selection. As you see, it looked like Krause has had his get pushed down a little bit with that turnover. Never had a chance to come back to the left. Santos trying to do the lefty turnover.
He's gonna go into a deep and he died.
Fades out.
Hoping that's right.
Looks like Seth is trying to do another turnover as well.
Big flag.
Be about circle 2. Nate just going standard. Right hand, backhand, get the flare. Ooh. Not sure what he hit, but it made him stop really quick.
He hit a root or a rock or something. Santos here with his bid. Next is Alex.
Alex giving his birdie putt a good bid.
They weren't sure who's up, but Seth takes it. And a little high.
Seth a little high and right.
Putt straight through.
And it looks like Nate's corrected his ship a little bit. Gets himself a bird.
Yep.
And Joe
Great birdie,
nailing
Joe.
down the bird.
Great birdie, Nate.
So at this point, Joe has taken 8 birdies since that one bogey he took way back on hole 7. So he's been putting on a really impressive streak of just knocking down all the holes that you really got to get to and that you got a birdie. Hole 16 is a relatively wide open shot. The right is a little guarded with trees, but if you throw something straight and flat, you'll get right to the basket. It's not too big of a challenge for these guys. I think for Santos, he's going to do left hand, backhand around this middle tree that we're walking by right now, and should have himself parked right next to the basket.
Wind. This is where the wind really picked up. There's about 30 miles an hour of a headwind right now. And Joe's like, I want to wait a second.
Gets a fortunate tree kick and kind of pushes closer to the basket.
Nate's up next.
Do it.
It was like Nate went a little longer than he would like.
Did I stay in front of it?
No, you're good. I think.
Definitely giving it a bid.
Up comes Alex with another forehand.
Krause going to take that left side gap. Just come crashing in. It was definitely beefy, that's for sure. Santos going to probably take that same route. It's a little wide left. Looks low, but should get some good ground play. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't have expected that kind of skip from that low of a drive, but whoop!
Thought he had a really good ace run going there, too.
Nate was a little deep, so it's laying up. Santos had his limb, and he's like, I don't know if I want to go up or over or around.
Santos, on the other hand, goes full bid on that one.
Going up and over. And you can see on the ground there, Joe had mittens. It was in the 30s this early in the morning. It was still cold.
Lining up his birdie putt. Nails it for his ninth
birdie,
in a
Joe.
row.
Yep, 9 birdies in a row.
Is that a little high again?
Yeah, that was for his birdie too. He has not been able to string any of them together either.
Lines up his comeback shot. Nice, too low. It's unfortunate though.
Yeah, he just can't get anything going right now.
Putting woes.
Alex just steps up real quick and puts it right in.
Barely got there.
Same with Nate.
Par for Santos, bogey for Seth. Hole 17, this is the hole that has the creek on the right side and has the OB on the left side. We've also got the green area, same as what's on hole 5. Where that white trailer is up at the top, that's basically right where 5's tee box is near. So this is again the 2 fairways that kind of throw in on each other. Right hand, backhand's going to be real easy. They just got to throw it out over the creek, let it push over. I believe the wind was favorable for right hand, backhand at this time. Although it looks like nothing's really moving too much right now, so. But Joe going again, right hand, backhand, and basically playing lawn darts. Could get his 10th in a row.
Wow. Alex sees that and is like, I can do that.
Surprisingly, in the 3 years that I've been running this event, I have not seen an ace on this hole, even though this seems like this would be the easiest hole to ace, given that it's a right-hand, backhand green.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be an easy ace hole, but it's also a far one. Nate taking the same route that Joe did. Right behind the basket.
Another par.
What? Lefty backhand's a little tricky on this hole because, again, you've got that hill coming into play as well as the OB. But if you're like Santos, you just put it way up high and it pushed a little further right than he wanted to, but
Yeah, he's down in the sand trap. He's going to join Alex down there too. Now here's Seth.
that shot's looking pretty good. A little shorter than he'd like, but got a favorable roll. In years past, we've put it to where this lower tier has actually been out of bounds. But this year and the past year, we did not. One, because the ground is just eroding and it makes it for a really difficult green for people to be able to hit. And two, I've already flagged so much this weekend that I was just done with flagging. And I'm not going to put more flags out there just to make players upset.
Yeah.
Seth wide right. Here's his comeback. Unfortunately, came back low again.
Seth is just not having a good day with putting.
Some might be asking again whether the green flag's for it. That's again just safety place. So
That's birdie Nate.
even though Nate was in the green flagged area, he could play his lie wherever he wanted, or if he wanted to, or if he didn't feel like if he was further up the mountain and his footing was not safe, he could go to a drop zone without penalty.
Yeah, I can see where it'd be unsafe.
I didn't want to make that an automatic OB or an automatic go to the drop zone because I didn't want to punish people for landing in a good spot where they might have had good footing and close to the basket, because the drop zone is about easily 65, 80 feet away from the basket. Hole 18 is our big bomber hole. This is where we start getting the wide open holes. On the right side, you got the creek OB. On the left side, there's the 10 line that goes into the impound lot. It's really just kind of grab your best driver and throw it down there as far as you can and pick up the bird. We did put a flag line up, and that was just to keep people off the sandbar and away from the erosion, because the last thing I need to do is have the ground come out from underneath somebody. Yeah, it's a fun hole, just really wide open.
Where are you going, Zach? I don't know where you're drifting to. All right, we got Joe here first. It turned over.
I didn't realize Joe came that close to the OB line.
He actually was out of bounds over there.
Nate needs to hurry up and get back and get stable.
He also turned it over. There was a ripping headwind on this hole.
Does not look like it did.
No, he was also out of bounds. Oh, we got Alex. He's going to show us how to do it forehand, so you don't go in the river. And that was like a 500-foot forehand.
Monster forehand.
Alex threw it really far, but he also got into a really kind of unfortunate footing spot.
Yeah, he's got some brushes and down limbs over there, but we'll see what he's got. There's Santos. Similar lefty line to that forehand we just saw from Alex.
Looks like Santos is kind of heading that same direction too.
Jump again, no!
He got rounded by the downed guardian tree.
And then Seth.
Seth's stayed turned over and he's found the creek.
It went right into the creek. It just burned straight over.
That is in the river.
I don't know why the hell that's there.
Yep, just a cute little truck sitting on top of one of the baskets. And then there's Nate.
Look at this guy.
That's a nice frame.
Seth with a nice upshot, a little long though.
I see blue sky and mountains.
It was very cold at this point, so any blue sky, I'll take it because that means sun is going to come out pretty soon.
And unfortunately with that, Joe's streak of 10 birdies comes to a close. But he'll save the par and move on to the next one. Santos has got kind of a tricky line here. Good shot, Seth.
He does know how to putt. Wow, it took how many holes? No, he's being hard on himself and
Let's go.
So despite it being a wide open kind of hole, 18 only had one birdie out of the MPO group, and the whole entire hole itself played as a 3.31. Hole 1, you're starting on one side of the creek and then you're throwing over across the other, or across to the other. You do have sidewalk and bridge on the left. There's also just a wall of trees that really kind of play guardian. You think you might have a great shot, but a tree might reach out and just knock your disc down and it'll roll right back in the creek, and that's kind of not fun. We've also got the sidewalk behind the basket, so you don't want to pump it too hard because you'll go right into the OB area. Like Joe is lining up the thumber. So again, you see all these trees that are kind of playing guardian, and again, you might think you have a great line, but you just find the one wrong branch, one wrong tree, and next thing you know, you're going in the creek.
Alex stepping up here for a forehand over the river.
Alex is going to go up and over. Seems to be a pretty standard play.
This was the local route.
Wow. So yeah, again, that green disc was coming off of hole 3 that's trying to play the basket.
I'm so confused right now. That last card just shot for our basket, I'm pretty sure.
Santos going up and over again, just like the other guys, and I think he got caught by the trees because he landed a little bit to the left. Nate here, gonna try to punch it through the trees. He got all the way through all right. And then Seth trying for the same.
Seth with at least a fortunate kick and not coming straight back at him.
Yeah, at least didn't roll back into the river.
At this point, the clouds have all burnt off, and now we're starting to see the sun, and the weather's going to start picking up, or start getting nice.
Yeah, the weather's starting to get nice, but it's also starting to get windy. Nate here.
Ooh, good stop. Good bid by Joe. Trying to get himself back on the birdie train. Oof, just a little low. There's Alexander giving back the disc from someone that came in from hole 3.
And there's the group behind him that threw that other green disc.
Another one of those holes that averaged above par. There was only 4 birdies on the day. Alex just now getting one of them, and then 3 others. But the hole played at 3.2. Hole 2, we've got a creek on the right side again. There's also a lot of trees and not a lot of lanes on that right side. So if you yank it off to the right, you're going to be drawing dead. Off to the left, there's the sidewalk and beyond again. And then you can't really see it too well, but there is a fence line that comes into play a little bit deeper. So people just got to be careful of how much they put on this. Alex going way high, lefty or righty forehand.
This was a tough one for Zack to film too. He didn't know where they were going to.
Thumber again.
Yeah, Joe doing thumber. This is his normal play.
I'll put him within the circle, but it's going to be definitely guarded. It's like Nate was trying to do a turnover that just kind of got pushed back. This one's definitely one of the more lefty-friendly holes. The only thing that lefties have to avoid is the big tree that's kind of right by the sidewalk. You just want to swing it over and hopefully push through. Unfortunately, Santos finds that big tree. Good layup by Nate.
Let's go, Seth.
Seth knocks down the birdie.
Alex didn't really know where the basket was. He was kind of down on the slope.
That back area is kind of treacherous. About where Joe is, maybe to his right a little bit, there's a snake pit.
Oh.
You can easily see a bunch of like tiny baby snakes.
Well, that's good to know now.
Nothing dangerous, just enough to wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, enough to scare me. But here's Joe. See if he can pick up another birdie.
Great putt by Joe, knocks down his birdie.
Of course. There's Santos. Just misses it. Comes back for his cleanup. I believe that's a bogey. There's Nate. And Alex.
Hole 3, we're going to have the impound lot on the right. On the left is going to be the sidewalk where the basket is going to be perched up on top of this shelf. So first off, players got to throw through this wall of trees where they can go around, but they do run the risk of going in the impound lot. And then the sidewalk starts getting closer and closer to the green, and so it makes for a smaller drop zone or for a smaller landing zone. This actually averaged as the hardest hole for all the MPOs.
All right, stepping up first is Joe with his hammer. It was really hard to track. I don't think Zack even knew that he was throwing a hammer. Not until the second round does you get to see the better footage of that. There's Seth going right over top of that hill. It was a blind shot. Zack was not in a good spot for getting any of the capture footage anyway. We didn't really know where to stand since this was our first time filming this. There's Alex with a forehand, trying to go over top the trees. There's that sidewalk to the left, which is OB the whole way. And now here's Nate.
So it looks like Nate's taking the wide hyzer off to the right. That again does bring in the impound lot, especially if the disc just kind of keeps sailing off to the right.
Yeah, you'll see this brown fence, and that's what the impound lot is. And here's Santos going backhand lefty, hoping to park it up on top of the hill. And now we're joined again by Zack. And there's that fence that was the impound lot. Joe made it to the bottom of the hill.
Joe giving it a bid. Looks like Nate went out of bounds.
Yep, Nate went all the way around and curled out of bounds. So here's for his par. All right, Alex for his birdie attempt. Wow.
And that right there was the only birdie of that hole by Alex Krause.
I mean, from both angles. What a putt. Alright, and Santos stepping up here. See if he can save his par. Nope. Seth. Save his par.
It was a good bid by Seth. Just a little more left than you would have liked.
Yeah, it just was not his day for putting. I don't know if being on camera helped or not.
So again, the hardest hole for the round, or next is the hardest hole in the round, and definitely showed its teeth today.
These are a great group of guys to film for the first round for the feature card. And they even came up and gave me a high five.
It's always good when they give the caddies high fives and the camera people high fives as well. Seth out there giving the proper gentleman handshake. So we're on our final hole, hole 4, 320 feet. OB on the right side with the impound lot. In years past, other TDs have made a OB line that kind of separates holes 4 and 18. Again, that just felt like an unnecessary punishment, and probably would be something maybe we might do in the future, but at this point, no plans to do it. It is kind of an easier hole, but it can't all be hard.
Yeah, here is where we kind of lost a lot of audio, so whatever I have here in the background is what you'll hear.
Alex, a little deep.
Joe going for that flex backhand.
Go about 20 feet.
Lands it right on the hill. Santos. on the other side of the hill.
It is a rather more difficult hole because your putting green is slanted. And it's going to become more of an issue later on in the afternoon once the winds start picking up, because you're going to be doing basically what's going to be an uphill putt, and you're going to show off the bottom of your flight plate. That could make your disc do multiple things.
Yeah. Alright, here's Nate. He floats it a little too far and goes down the hill far to the left.
Like Nate's never flipped up for him. The other thing that makes this kind of a treacherous area is that it's, you know, hard pan, so your disc is very likely to just skip, or it could catch an edge and just keep on rolling. There's not a lot of vegetation, there's not a lot of soft dirt.
Right. It's all just a rocky area, so your disc just keeps skipping.
Joe finishes his round with the birdie.
Yep, Joe picks up the birdie, puts him at 11 down. Now here's Alex for the same.
Seth does, or excuse me, Alex does as well.
Yep, but that also puts Alex at 11 down. Alright, here's Seth. See if he can finish on his round. Low. And unfortunately, he's still got a putt.
Good comeback.
Yep. Now Santos. Fair ball. Even farther.
I think Santos is going to want some of these back as well.
He didn't want it to roll, so he just threw something nice and light. Nate with a bag on.
Nate got lucky that it didn't catch an edge. But obviously he's frustrated by the situation.
Yeah, how can he not be frustrated? But put the bag down next time, have a better result. Alright, and there we have it. We've got Joe and Alex tied up at 11 down. Nate at 3 down, Seth at 2 over, and Santos at 3 over. I want to thank you for watching. This has been Cats. I was joined by Josh Rosa. He was the tournament director, and we'll catch you for the lead card.